on Outback Truckers. In the world of heavy haulage, Danny Watts is the heavyweight champion.
Oh, it can't be that big. I'll pop around the corner, no panic.
It's his job to drive the biggest monsters on the highway. He's locked in a battle with the clock, the weather and the road.
I lose traction quite easily.
To deliver one of the largest trucks on the planet.
You've got a lot of weight up there. If it starts going off the road, you'll never pull it back.
Steve Graham makes his living going where other truckers fear to tread.
500 kilometres of corrugation will break something.
He's an outback legend, taking on the toughest routes.
Sometimes I think, will I ever get off this road?
He's got a $3 million load on board.
Shit, I don't like that.
Bluesy Barrow and Nolene Turner are a trucking couple.
Part of the right, love. You're an arrogant son of a bitch.
They're on a mission to get to the middle of nowhere.
Truck is very rough.
And on this trip, Nolene's career is on the line.
My greatest fear, I would never push a clutch again.
In an Adelaide loading yard, legendary outback trucker Steve Graham is getting ready for another epic journey. For more than 40 years, he's been battling Australia's toughest roads. Steve goes where others daren't.
Things break just through the mongrel axle braking nature of the roads.
Steve's about to come face to face with the trip that almost broke him just a year ago. What should have been a 5-day drive turned into a 40-day nightmare.
Some trailers caught in the sandbar. Come on.
Steve went through trucking hell. Once again, he's headed for the tiny remote settlement of Columbaroo in the northwest of Australia. To get there, he'll have to cross the world's 6th largest country, covering a massive 3,900 kilometres, like driving from London almost to Baghdad. He'll also face some of the roughest roads on the planet. Steve has just 5 days to deliver $3 million worth of power generating equipment. It's a vital load that will transform community life.
This is delicate and it means a great deal to the people at the end of Columbaroo. If something's broken, it's more than 700 k's to get parts.
The freight's already been packed and loaded for Steve. It's critical it's done right. It has to survive the massive journey, 500 kilometres of which is on brutal dirt roads. The outback can be a dangerous place, so Teeny the dog will ride up front with Steve.
Good girl. Good girl.
He's also brought some two-legged help to share the load, his old mate, Steve Reed. With such a delicate load on board, no one's taking any chances.
The owners of this freight will meet me 300 kilometres out of Columbaroo and check the freight to see if there's any damage to it at that point of time. That's how serious they are, they're concerned about it.
Steve faces another epic trip. Expensive freight, a tight deadline, and one of the toughest roads in the country.
Because of the remoteness of the country, there is going to be some problems. I don't know what they'll be, but 500 kilometres of corrugations will break something.
Aussie trucks cover 44 million kilometres a day, enough to get to the moon and back 50 times. And more than half the country's roads are unsealed. It takes a special kind of driver to ride these roads. In Perth, two-up team Jeff Bluesy Barrow and Nolene Turner are getting ready for a 3-day run out into the bush.
Ew.
Bluesy's been driving solo for more than 30 years, but for the last 6, he's shared the cab with his partner.
For years and years, he's only ever driven on his own. He just couldn't handle anyone else in the truck.
And they make a perfect team.
Wait! Come up here.
Most of the time.
Hang on, what's
Listening to his mates and people who know him on the road, and they go, wow, he's got a two-up driver and it's a woman? What? Living with him, eating with him, sleeping with him, working with him, it's a challenge.
All right. That plug's it's your problem. Okay, I'm not arguing. Do you want a drink or not?
How do you say you want to open the door and shove somebody out while you're doing 100 down the highway?
Oh, you're an arrogant son of a bitch.
I'll get you over there, don't you worry.
Nolene was raised on a farm and has been driving trucks as long as she can remember.
The machines in the trucks are always there. It's a feel. You've either got it or you don't.
But this trip will be a test of more than just her skill behind the wheel. She's recovering from a painful knee reconstruction.
My greatest fear, I would never push a clutch again.
It's an interesting contraption. Put it this way, if I didn't have it, I wouldn't be walking.
If her injury can't stand up to the trip, she could be forced to leave the job she's loved all her life.
It'll actually be the first time that I drive this trip. I haven't driven anything yet. So we'll see how the leg goes.
Making things even tougher is the destination. They're heading for the town of Alice Springs, at the very heart of Australia. It's one of the most isolated places on Earth, surrounded by thousands of kilometres of desert. To get there, Bluesy and Nolene will have to survive the Great Central Road, a 1,200 kilometre stretch of rough dirt track.
Hold your line and then you'll be fine.
It's a huge challenge for even the fittest driver.
Oh, I'm looking forward to getting out there, trying to move.
In Australia, 3/4 of freight is hauled by trucks, more than 500,000 of them, pulling 5 million tonnes a day. And the loads don't come any bigger than this massive dump truck. Fully loaded, they can weigh up to a huge 700 tonnes, double the weight of a 747 jet. Driving the biggest thing on the road comes with huge pressure. Only the best of the best can cut it. One of those is Danny Watts.
At the moment, she's got a hell of a lot of weight on her. I love that, the shiniest truck in the road. You go past people and go, oh, he looks after that, and that makes you feel good. It'll get dirty and I'll wash it again and give her a love tap and I'll say, good job today, girl. I've got to look after it like it's mine. Like my wife said, that's you have a love in life, isn't it? Of course it is, look, it's beautiful. She looks after it. We make money together.
This time, Danny's making money getting this monster out to a Queensland mine site. It's the world's largest mechanical dump truck with a supersized price tag of $7 million. Danny's 200 kilometre run will take him from Mackay to Moranbah in rural Queensland. But there's a catch. He'll have to do it during the middle of the night. It's the only time Danny's massive load is allowed on public roads. He has just 6 hours to get the job done. Failure is not an option. It's a high-risk journey. Even the smallest mistake could spell disaster.
We're not just playing in the park, you're kicking the football around like, you're being serious here. You've got a lot of weight up there. If it starts going off the road, you'll never pull it back. Yeah, you broke it. Oh, I nearly broke it.
On the road to Columbaroo, Steve Graham faces a dilemma. He needs to push hard to make his deadline, but with $3 million worth of delicate equipment on board, he's having to drive like he's on eggshells.
We've got very expensive motors and generating systems, and it's no good to anyone getting out there damaged.
And out here, even the sealed roads are rough.
We'll be some hours letting our tyres down and just making sure that everything's right. I mean, I've dropped back to 80 kilometres an hour here. In some ways, you know, my fingers are crossed that we're not doing damage to the freight here on this stuff.
He's got no choice but to back off and nurse his truck to the next fuel stop. Steve's been at the wheel all day, driving as smoothly as possible. But after a pounding from the roads, he wants to check on his precious freight.
Shit, I don't like that.
After all his hard work, it's the last thing Steve wants to see.
These things were obviously set up on this platform, and this platform's collapsed. And, you know, that's not good. That's not good at all, and I don't want to go any further with it.
The worst damage is on 2 thermal mufflers. Each is worth $4,000.
This and this.
And they've taken a beating.
Oh, there's some weight in there, man. Lovely. I'm glad I looked in here when I did. because they're just... Oh, I just hate to imagine if they had been rolling around in there for any longer. We would have delivered a container full of nuts and bolts.
He may not have packed the load, but it's still Steve's name and Steve's business on the line.
Geez, I should have looked in these things there. I should have opened the doors. I should have made them open the doors.
Outside Perth, Bluesy and Nolene are finally back doing what they love, heading into the outback.
Can't wait to see that bitumen run underneath, then just head out on the dirt.
When this couple first met, it was Nolene's mechanical nous which caught Bluesy's eye.
She used to do a lot of things a lot better than blokes used to do. Guys out there didn't have a clue what they were doing, where she did. She's pretty switched on.
But it was a run-in with a sexist boss which sealed their romance.
I got cranky because a man treated me like an idiot.
You ain't no idiot.
4 months I put up with that little Turk.
And I went and said my piece, and then we got instant dismissal.
This time, they're hauling 30 tonnes of freight to Alice Springs. At 800 kilometres to the nearest city, it's one of the most remote places on Earth. For Nolene, it's been a long road to recovery, but she's hoping today's the day she'll finally get back behind the wheel.
I gotta keep doing that. Just arthritis in the knee joint basically just causes that much pain that you limp so bad you twist the rest of your body. So about a week after I turned 50, they said, you will be here on the 4th and we will chop your knee up on the 5th.
The smooth bitumen is about to be replaced by something much redder and much tougher. The Great Central Road, all 1,200 kilometres of it. It's a dirt track that will test both truck and trucker to the limit. To soak up the punishment from the road's surface, they need to lower their tyre pressures to almost half their normal level.
Pretty keen to get behind the wheel. Sick of sitting around doing nothing. Gotta do something. Bust them. Have a go. Get out there and bite some dirt. Do something.
Out here, road conditions are unpredictable. One thing that isn't is their deadline. They have 3 days to make it to Alice.
The boss has said we've got to be there Tuesday morning, but he doesn't know what the condition of the road is, and we've got to drive to the condition of the road. Rough, we go slow. If it's smooth, I'll make up time.
In Queensland, Danny Watts and his team are up against the clock. They have just a few hours to load the world's largest dump truck.
You right, Raj? Let's go.
The truck's tray has been removed, but it still weighs in at a massive 280 tonnes. It's vital Danny spreads the weight evenly. With millimetre precision, he must reverse all 80 wheels of his 30-metre trailer underneath the load to exactly the right position.
There you go. Little bit to your left, mate, if anything. There you go. Straighten him up. Yeah.
Danny nails it first time. Next, he needs to raise his hydraulics to take the full weight of the truck.
And what the boys are going to do now, they're actually going to let the front suspension down. They drop the gas out of the front struts. The truck will actually sit on the trailer, and that way, as soon as I start lifting the trailer, the wheels will come off the ground.
Danny's got just millimetres to spare. Raise the truck too little, and he won't have enough ground clearance. Too much, and he risks hitting high-voltage power lines.
All right, we'll start lifting up.
Once the suspension is lowered, Danny prepares to take the strain. An equipment failure would spell disaster.
We'll blow a hydraulic hose here, have it in the air, and it'll just drop. So, fingers crossed.
At 280 tonnes, his trailer's taking the weight of 250 family-sized cars.
You notice I'm getting a hell of a lot of weight here. These tyres are going half flat. That should come off the ground any minute now.
He's pushing his trailer to its limit.
She's got a hell of a lot of weight on her.
The load is secure, but it's too heavy for the road. The 10-tonne wheels and 16-tonne hubs need to come off. At $40,000 a tyre, it's an expensive pit stop. Next, Danny moves his 550 horsepower prime mover into position.
Make sure you're hooked in. You go out here, it's not hooked up properly. Truck goes, car stays. Then it goes down. I don't want that embarrassment.
After losing valuable time, Steve Graham is on the road again. The damaged equipment is back on board. Up ahead is one of the toughest dirt roads in the country. With heavy rain, it can become a bog.
We don't want to be slipping and sliding in mud holes. The rain that's forecast is probably only for a day or two. If there's a good shower out there or a good storm, it can play hell with my plans, and I don't want it.
The Gibb River Road is a brutal stretch of track. It's just about the last place you'd want to take a 50-tonne road train carrying $3 million worth of fragile equipment. Just a few kilometres in, Steve meets the first obstacle in his path. A river crossing. The water level is low, but it could still be hiding plenty of surprises. Potholes, rocks and sandbars can bring even the most powerful road train to a halt. Steve has to tiptoe his way across. While he's got past one obstacle, ahead is a section of jump-ups, sharp hills that drain a truck's momentum.
Yeah, we've got another serious jump up coming up, Stephen.
As he crawls uphill, he's burning a litre of fuel every 800 metres. Steve's using every inch of the road. The last thing he needs now is head-on traffic.
I don't want someone with a caravan coming over the top here wanting to compete with me for it. I want it all at the minute.
On the edge of the central Australian desert, Bluesy and Nolene are taking on the bone-shaking Great Central Road. Nolene's getting ready for a moment she thought may never come again, getting behind the wheel of a truck.
You've got to continually work your leg all the time. Straighten it, bend it, straighten it, bend it.
The road's living up to its reputation. The constant battering is taking its toll. After 5 hours in the driver's seat, Bluesy needs a break.
Have a piss.
Oh, you might.
And it's Nolene's moment of truth.
Righto, we shall give it a go. Day 2. Mid-morning, we'll give it a bash. Oh God, here we go. As long as I can get it on that clutch, it's all good. And get it off. Got a bit to go, but we get there. You don't realise how much you actually use a bent leg until you've got a stiff one.
She's holding up so far, even if the moment might be lost on Bluesy.
You wait, Jeff. No, toes up.
But it's not long before the road gives her injured knee a real test. Just after 1:30 a.m, Danny Watts begins his 180-tonne delivery.
Righto, Connie. Out the gate, mate.
It's 200 kilometres of difficult road in the dark, with daybreak just 6 hours away.
9.5 metres will be northbound. And we'll be wrong starting it.
Righto, Bobby, you can hear me, Al? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you, Danny. We got you.
Connie, what's those traffic lights laid down up here?
Okay, all ready for you.
First, Danny needs to make a tight turn through a narrow intersection. He'll drive on the wrong side of the road to swing left, while his team clear the traffic ahead.
I can't have anything on the highway because I've got the whole road. We want to come straight out there, boys?
Yeah, keep going. One little stop clear.
We've got one car and we'll be able to fix it. Because it's so wide here, we have to lay the traffic lights down.
Driving this beast is all about staying cool under pressure. Whatever the road throws at him, Danny must keep his stress in check. And with such a monster load, around every corner, there's a hazard. Next, roadworks. Danny slows to a crawl as he picks his way through the traffic bollards or witches' hats.
If I get witches hats jammed up under here, they can start burning, next thing I'll start a fire. Crawl through here and I'll just tap and I'll stay standing up. Go too quick, you mow them down, you spread them everywhere.
But even the best can't win them all. Next, there's a section of hard barriers. Danny's running out of room fast.
I'll just slow right down, crawl through. Am I going in the right hand side, Bobby?
One mistake and his $7 million load could be stuck fast.
It's gonna get ugly here in a minute.
After climbing a steep jump up, Steve Graham has made it to a rendezvous with the owners of his freight.
Down the mufflers, you can see. Yeah.
If the damage to the mufflers wasn't enough, there's more bad news.
The engine mounts that have actually compacted and crushed. It's simply the material it was made out of. I mean, I'm not an engineer, probably needed to be a bit stronger. You know, I hate being associated with any sort of a delivery that doesn't give the customer what he's... They buy new stuff, we cart it out there, it should be new when they get it.
They still have 300 kilometres to go, and the delays have cost them precious time. With pressures mounting, another of Steve's old enemies rears its head. Corrugations.
They up the wear and tear on everything. I mean, everything's sitting there getting vibrated away.
They're a series of regular bumps in the road, caused by traffic running over them for weeks, months and years on end. At their worst, it's like driving on an assault course. His load is taking an even greater hammer.
All we can do is basically walk the load in like this.
It's more lost time, but Steve wants to check his freight again. There's a problem. Fuel's leaking everywhere.
Can you just grab it? Yeah, I know.
It's a dangerous situation.
You really don't want all that splashing around in there, do you?
The boys must stop the leak and pump out the fuel fast.
The deepest point will be in that corner.
She's away. No, you only got 3.
After fighting a tough section of the Great Central Road, Nolene has made it through her first big test behind the wheel. The road is finally giving her knee a breather.
Been busted for 3 months to get out in the bush. Sitting there waiting patiently, doing as I'm told, is the knee's going to work or not. But hey, guess what? I'm out here doing it. Yeah. And that's a good feeling.
It's been a long 3 months off the road, but at the end of a huge day for Nolene, the reward is some roadside tucker in the place many fear, but which they love.
It was awesome getting in that truck yesterday.
I feel like I'm alive again. Yeah. Like every time you come out here, it's a challenge. You don't know what you're going to come up against, and it's just awesome. But you bring half those city guys out, they shit themselves.
After navigating his 200-ton truck through a tight section of roadworks, Danny Watt's most dangerous obstacle is just up ahead. High voltage power lines.
We'll have Dutchie on the ground, the high wire bloke. He'll be standing there, his son will be out on the side there, holding a big pole up, lifting the wires up. And that way we won't have any arcing or we won't have a power wire trying to draw down to the load.
In the pitch black of night, he'll be driving blind, relying on his pilots to physically lift 10,000 volt cables. Get it wrong, and the results could be disastrous.
Dude, there's a big spark, it'll blow every tire on this truck. They can stuff that machine in the back. The whole thing will come to a grinding halt.
One down, but the next cable isn't far ahead. Danny's pilots race to get into position.
Where you go? Like you stole a bloody push bike, that kid. See, he's got his stick lit up well. I just seen the wire bend then.
Danny slows to walking pace as 10,000 volts buzzes above him. There's just one more cable to go, but it's the most dangerous of the lot.
They've built the road up underneath the wire.
The raised road surface will put Danny right on the limit of his clearance. To get under the cable, he'll have to lower his trailer as far as possible, just 60 millimetres off the ground. Inch by inch, he creeps under the last high voltage wire. One big spark could end the journey right here. Having scraped through, Danny needs to raise his trailer and get underway fast to make up lost time.
Go on, old girl.
But there's a problem. His hydraulics are dead.
No, she's not going to do it today. She's shit herself today.
He's going nowhere. Danny needs to fix the hydraulics on his 80-wheel trailer quickly. Time's ticking away. It'll soon be daylight and his operation could be halted. He's hoping the problem could be a simple flat battery drained by his lights.
Because we run all the lights, the little battery up there, she's suffering a bit.
$7 million worth of freight, $1 million trailer and $500,000 worth of truck are all relying on a $20 pair of jump leads.
You want some? Righto, we're right to go again, let's all go.
There's only one last obstacle left in Danny's way, but it's the toughest, the Eaton Range Mountain Pass.
I'll always worry about the hill. You've got to treat that hill with respect, because if you get too cocky with it, you will come undone and it will be ugly.
It's a notorious accident black spot, a 6-kilometre climb up an 11% gradient. Just a single 100-metre stretch has seen 4 fatal truck crashes in recent years. At almost 200 tonnes, Danny's too heavy to get up it alone. He calls in backup from not one, but 2 extra prime movers. 3 drivers, 3 big trucks, and one of the biggest loads in the world. What could possibly go wrong?
Roscoe's pushing too hard. He can spin off centre. Tell himself on the big knot. Next thing you know, we've got a truck arse that red. Right, Connie, we're going to start going. You right back there, Bobby?
Yeah, when you're ready.
Idle.
In a road train measuring nearly 60 metres, there's 1,500 horsepower ready to help Danny make the climb. The range has been cleared of traffic. All 3 trucks and drivers must work together to get up the mountain.
We stay in one gear. You don't want to change gears on that hill because you'll come to a dead stop.
Danny's completely reliant on the drivers up front and behind.
I can't see the road, so I put a lot of faith in Wade now.
There's almost 300 tonnes clinging to the road. Keeping traction is vital.
Wade down front, he breaks traction. Me and Roscoe at the back, we still got traction. We'll push it through it. When I get there, they pull me through it.
But even with 3 prime movers, the massive strain is starting to tell.
Someone's not working here.
The truck behind isn't pushing hard enough.
Oh, I think Roscoe might be hanging off the back of me.
Yeah, westbound, just be patient.
We should be a bit quicker than this.
If he doesn't push harder, they could grind to a halt, leaving them stuck on the mountain.
If he's not working hard and I die, we won't take off again.
Roscoe needs to pick up speed, and soon.
He's kicking in there. We're picking up speed again.
After battling up the range, Danny's convoy finally reaches the summit. With his massive load hogging the highway, he must make his destination before sunrise. But as dawn approaches, the temperature is dropping.
Fog's starting to come in quite thick, actually.
This is a whole new headache.
A lot of cars are like a kangaroo at the headlight. You don't know what's going to happen.
Having patched up a dangerous fuel leak, Steve Graham has come across yet another problem.
That doesn't look good from here. I don't like the angle of that thing.
His convoy is blocked by a truck whose trailer is too low for the slope into a creek. Luckily, there's a couple of veteran Outback Truckers willing to lend a hand.
The quickest and easiest way to do this?
Under the air valve.
No, crawl under it. Get your height adjustment. Well, this is airbag, isn't it?
Yep.
And just
lift
pump
it
your
right
airbags up.
Who's going under, Steve?
I suppose I'll get under because I know.
Because you're the slimmest.
Well, no, I've done it before.
No, it's do you want the screwdriver? Something
Yeah,
like a little rubber.
give us a screwdriver.
The driver, Mark, has tried to raise the road surface with rocks, but it hasn't worked.
This is a nice road you built here, Mark.
Well, yeah.
No, it is. I built a road. I've built a few roads out here over the years. I'm pleased to see other blokes that come along building roads out here. It's good.
While Steve supervises, Steve Reed helps Mark attempt to raise the trailer to clear the ridge.
Now, Steve's going to try and get the airbags to lift up to their maximum, which might give Mark enough clearance.
The trouble is, no one knows how high his trailer will go. If they pump his suspension too much, they risk blowing an airbag, leaving Mark stranded.
Actually, it's jumping up a long way, right? As we...
I would go maximum that you can without blowing the airbag.
You know the only thing wrong with that theory? You don't really know what the maximum is until they go bang.
I'd hold it there, Steve. Steve-o, that's it, mate, you got it. Yep, stop, stop.
You know who your mates are out here some days, don't you?
There you go.
The ride heights up as far as they dare, but is it enough to get the road train out?
We'll give you the signal, mate. I'll be laying here.
As Mark's blocking the road, all 3 trucks could be stuck here if he can't escape. Job done. While it's yet another delay for Steve, out here on the toughest roads in the land, it's all about helping out your fellow trucker.
1-800 assist, we may not be there.
Thanks for that, eh?
Just 20 kilometres from his destination, The fate of Danny Watt's journey is now in the hands of the weather. A thick bank of fog is making road conditions dangerous.
Some people might think, oh, it's only fog, but when you're 9.5 metres wide, like we're over either side of the bitumen here, people will come towards us, will panic.
The sunrise is minutes away, but if the fog gets any worse, Danny's police escort may have no choice but to step in.
It's too foggy where it's too hard for the people to see me coming. They can pull a load up and stop us.
If he's pulled over now, he could spend the whole day off the road, a delay costing thousands of dollars. But the fog is also starting to affect the road surface.
The road's wet here. I lose traction quite easily in these wet roads because of the amount of the weight in the back there. You just start spinning, you can't help it.
Danny's within touching distance of home, but he's having to use all his skill and experience to stay on the road. All night he's been racing the sunrise, but now Danny hopes it'll come to his rescue. He needs the rising sun to burn away the fog. Finally, the road is clear. After a hard day's night, he's almost at his destination.
Puts a big smile on my face and makes you feel proud that you can get it there. That's why I love doing this job.
He's driven $7 million worth of equipment, weighing 180 tonnes over 200 kilometres, crossing mountain ranges, roadworks and bad weather. But for elite trucker Danny Watts, it's just another day at the office.
You get obstacles thrown at you, you don't stress, you don't scream and panic and yell and carry on like a lunatic about it. You just got to cop it on the chin. You don't have to big note yourself about it. Just get on, do your job and just get it done.
Deep in the heart of Central Australia, Bluesy and Nolene are crossing one of the most isolated places on Earth. No one's expecting to see another face out here.
Dude, ride the bush bike up the road here a bit.
Roger.
With temperatures into the high 30s and 500 kilometres to the next town, a lone cyclist is the last traveller you'd expect to see.
No, but you can get that more sense.
Having looked forward to being on the road together, it seems the long days in the cab are starting to get to Nolene and Bluesy.
You don't get it, this really shits me off. I share everything you're not getting it for you. And you don't give
Just give us a bit, that's all I want.
Oh, for God's sake, here.
That much.
What?
On a bit.
How much is a bit?
Oh, 2 inches. Say yes.
No.
Okay.
What are you bullshitting about?
Just get back in your hole, donkey dude.
Give you knockerhead. Look at this silly old fart.
On these roads, when the going gets serious, being a team can save your load and your life. It's one of the hazards of dry dirt roads, a dust storm. Bluesy can't see clearly ahead.
Hold your line and you'll be fine.
If he stamps on the brakes, he risks rolling the truck. He needs Nolene to help him stay on the road and out of the path of oncoming traffic.
Come my way a little bit.
They must work together to get through it.
It's all straight. Come my way a little bit. You're too far to the right, love.
Bluesy and Nolene are in luck. As fast as it blows in, the storm blows by. After surviving 1,200 kilometres of pounding dirt roads, it's back onto the bitumen for the run into Alice. Nolene's career was hanging in the balance, but she survived everything the road could throw at her. This team are on time, in one piece, and very happy to be here.
Yeah, I feel like I'm achieving something, I'm doing something, I've got a challenge in life.
It can be a lonely life.
That's the good bit about us being together. It's just a lot easier with the two of us, isn't it?
After 5 hard days at the wheel, Steve Graham is nearing the end of his journey. Just one final hurdle stands in his way, his old foe, the Carson River. It's the deepest crossing on his route. Steve will have to inch his way through. One pothole or sandbar is all it takes to land him in serious trouble. He's through the river, but the road has another trick up its sleeve.
I won't get up here.
He's stranded within sight of the finish line.
The road's having one last go. It just won't let me go. I've got 20 kilometres to get this load in, and it's just pulled me up at the Carson River, my nemesis.
To get out, Steve hooks the two trucks together. It'll create an 1,100 horsepower monster. One will push Steve up the bank, and he'll then tow his mate behind. 4 trailers, 70 metres long, 100 tonnes and 100 wheels. It's a big road train. Steve will need every ounce of horsepower he can get.
Look at them all skedaddle.
While the Carson River is behind him, the road to Columbaroo never gives in.
At this point, you're starting to think you've nearly beaten this road, because I've probably only got about 10 k's to go to get into town. And this bloody road, just before I get into town, just becomes a rock. Just a flat rock shelf.
Finally, it's the sight he's been waiting for. Steve's battered and bruised, but he's made it over the line. It's been a marathon trek, covering nearly 4,000 kilometres, 3 states, and some of the toughest roads in the country.
This is what it's all about. I'm happy now. The stuff's starting to come off. They're lifting it off the truck, so we've done the job.
It's all part of life for an Outback trucker. Another day, another deadline, another danger. On Outback Truckers, veteran truckie Steve Graham is facing an epic wilderness journey.
Oh, we're heading out into the desert, 1,200 kilometres of dirt.
On some of the meanest, wildest roads in the world.
I gotta watch them. They will do some damage to the bloody truck if you hit them.
It's a trip that will push man and machine to breaking point.
I'm pissed off because I had to grovel under there, because I should be able to shift that right and make the f***ing cab go up.
Heavy haulage expert Dion Fisher is in a race against the clock to deliver a monster mining rig.
It's just 500% concentration.
Any delays could cost millions. The pressure is ready to explode.
Come on down.
Wait, Dave. What are you, Dave? You've done jack shit all morning.
Tanker driver Corey Chapman is hauling 100 tonnes of volatile fuel.
If I don't hook something up right, there's a fair old chance something's going to explode.
He's on a vital supply run.
Could be life and death for someone.
Into the very heart of the Outback.
Without fuel, there's not much can happen.
It's 5:30 a.m. on a cold winter morning in Perth, Western Australia. Legendary Outback trucker Steve Graham is getting ready for yet another perilous journey.
Oh, we're heading out into the desert. I'd just like to have a little bit of backup. You break a water tank or something, it's good to have some backup. 1,200 kilometres of dirt, you break down, the radiator on the truck wants 60 litres, I want 60 and the dog wants a drink.
Steve's heading out on a marathon 3,500 kilometre journey, like driving from London to Cairo. His first delivery will take him into the heart of Australia, to Alice Springs. Next, he'll take his road train out into the desert, to the tiny community of Kiwakura. Steve's been driving trucks for 40 years. For the last 10, he's had a companion in the cab, Boots the dog. Now, after millions of kilometres together, old Boots has reached the end of the road.
She can't get up into the truck. She's retired, and this is her pup, Teeny. Teeny's her child, and Teeny's taken over from Mum. Get up.
Teeny may be hitching a lift, but she's no joyrider. It's her job to keep Steve safe from whatever dangers the Outback can throw at him.
All the gear's good, all the gear's been serviced, but there's a lot of dirt road in front of us and a lot of corrugations. If there's something that's weak or wants to break, they'll bring it undone. Things will come undone.
With a second trailer hooked up, Steve officially becomes a road train. And if there's one thing road trains love, it's fuel. Lots of it.
So we'll be putting in about, $1,600, $800 or $900 aside. And we'll chew that up today.
Steve is an owner-operator, and keeping a truck moving is a high-stakes, high-risk business. He's calculated on this trip he'll burn a litre of fuel per kilometre. Get it wrong, and he could pay a high price. South of Perth, an engineering team is up against the clock. 2 giant 40-metre-long steel structures are being built. They're part of a monster-sized conveyor belt destined for a mining plant. Problem is, it's almost 2,000 kilometres away in northwestern Australia. The only way to move something this big, that far, is by truck. Taking on the challenge is 32-year-old heavy haulage driver Dion Fisher.
You're worried about getting a load up the road that is of an extremely long length, extremely wide. It's just 500% concentration.
For 10 years, Dion's been driving the biggest, widest, longest trucks on the road. It's the job he always wanted.
As a kid, I always wanted to drive a big truck, and I'm following my dream.
But that dream comes with a cost.
I'm away most days of the week, most nights of the week. The kids don't like it. They love it when you're home, but unfortunately they all know Dad goes away in the truck and we'll see him when he gets home again.
Driving the biggest trucks comes with the biggest pressure. On this job, Dion's under extra stress. It's his first time as lead driver. He's the man in charge, and if anything goes wrong, it's his career on the line.
We've got lots of risks with fences, power lines, power poles.
And for Dion, it's not a great start. Loading should have begun hours ago, but last-minute changes from the owners mean work's still going on to finish the conveyors. If Dion's late, the plant may have to shut down. Workshop manager Rowan knows what that could mean.
I wouldn't want to guess how much it would cost the mine for shutting this part of the plant down, but it would be within the millions.
All Dion can do is wait. And wait. And wait. After 12 hours, the trucks are still idle. With every minute, the pressure's building on Dion.
It means for a long night and an early start tomorrow, and it's got to be done.
Soon, his police escort and pilots will arrive, expecting to hit the road at sunrise. Dion's permits only allow him to leave tomorrow. Miss his deadline, and this journey could be over before it's even begun. In South Australia, Corey Chapman is carefully preparing for a grueling 3-day Outback run. He's delivering vital supplies along the infamous Oodnadatta track. Reaching deep into the Outback, it's a 600-kilometre stretch of dust, dirt and truck grinding hell. About the last place you want to take a 62-wheel road train. And if that weren't enough, he's carrying one of the most volatile loads there is.
Carrying petroleum products or fuel. We've got a lot of diesel and a bit of petrol, but it's pretty dangerous doing it. So hopefully we should have a pretty good run.
Corey's been driving fuel tankers for 6 years. It's his job to deliver to some of Australia's most remote roadhouses, cattle stations and communities. On this trip, he's also supplying a team of dam builders working out in the desert. Trouble is, no one's 100% sure where they are.
Have a yak with Normie, Banner Creek. He'll give you a map how to get out there.
No worries.
The job comes with huge responsibility. Customers are depending on Corey to reach them before supplies run out.
Without fuel, there's not much can happen.
On board his 50-metre truck, there's enough fuel to run a family car for 45 years.
To be around 100,000 litres of fuel on all up between all 3 trailers. It is a lot of flammable liquid, so yeah, just got to be extra careful with with what we do. Anything can happen, especially with petroleum products.
Every nut and bolt must be checked and checked again. Miss something important and the results could be disastrous.
If I don't hook something up right and we get up the road and something comes adrift and it drops on the ground, well, there's a fair old chance something's going to explode. Sparks and all that kind of stuff, that's one thing we do have to avoid.
Fully loaded, his truck weighs in at more than 100 tonnes. Ahead are 3 days in one of the toughest environments on Earth, the Outback. Down under, 90% of the population live within an hour of the coast, with good reason. A vast, barren wilderness where temperatures can reach 50 degrees in the shade. Out here, no fuel means no power, no machinery, no transport, and no chance. Outside Perth, Steve Graham's journey is just underway. He's due to deliver 40 tonnes of housing frames to Alice Springs in just a couple of days' time. But he's already worrying about his tight deadline.
I've got to be really quick because we've got these supersized loads over there waiting to get through to Bindi Bindi, so I'm just going to check my load quickly and get moving. You give me 5 minutes?
He's desperate to stay in front of 2 slow-moving dump trucks, but there's another problem coming up from behind. Two more massive wide loads have passed him, and before Steve can pull out, the dump trucks also hit the road.
Ah, for f***'s sake.
In this business, losing time means losing money. Steve needs to get by the rolling roadblocks.
Just got to focus on what's going on here. I'm in the hands now of a traffic warden up there.
He's in luck. The monster trucks pull over to let traffic by.
Dealing with all these wide loads is putting me way back. It's half a day. It's what it's costing me.
Steve needs to put distance between him and the wide loads before his next stop, to pick up a third trailer. If he doesn't, he'll be back to square one. He must get back on the road as quickly as he can.
I can't muck around. I've got to just keep attacking all of the time. Now we're a 53.5 metre triple.
But as Steve's getting ready to go, the wide boys are back. He'll have to pass them all over again. Now with 3 trailers, Steve's rig is as heavy as a 737 jet and longer than an Olympic-sized swimming pool. To overtake, he'll need to travel at up to 100 kilometres an hour for 1 minute on the wrong side of the road.
All right, I'm on you now. Is everyone good to go?
It's critical he has clear communication with the other driver.
The person that I listen to the most, the voice of the other truckie, I will put my life in his hands rather than the other people's. Yeah, you got it, mate. Thanks, mate.
1 down, 1 to go.
Are you calling the triple between the tyres and the machine?
There's a problem.
Too much radio chatter on.
Steve can't hear the driver.
I'm getting a bit of chatter coming over the top from other supersized loads around.
He must wait until he knows he's talking to the right truck. It's a life or death decision.
Righto, mate, I'm into it.
There's barely enough room for 2 cars. Steve needs to hold his nerve and stay on the road. It's early morning in Perth. Dion Fisher's massive mining load should have been on the road by now. Late changes to the load's design have put the move 12 hours behind schedule.
Yeah, well, it was meant to start loading at 6 o'clock yesterday morning. We started loading around 6 o'clock last night.
A police escort and pilots are already here, but the team still isn't ready to go. If they can't get away in the next few hours, they'll miss a deadline they've been working to for months. New to the team is rear trailer operator Steve, aka Slim.
Oh, I'm up. I'll go get up there and tie some.
At 28, he's the youngest member of the crew and the one Dion will push the hardest.
Come on, Stevie. Steve! Trailers to load.
Sometimes it gets a bit stroppy because still learning about it.
I'm helping you.
Slim
needs to make sure that securing the load is done to the letter.
He wants it on a better angle to pull down, because I had it like that. It's wrong.
No, that's some tie wire to tie all that in. The buck stops with me. This is where we're at with the job, and need something done, it gets done.
While there's huge pressure to get underway, Dion and second driver Dave disagree about how the load should be secured.
That under there, you'd have a double strand chain.
Dion wants to use 2 chains to secure the load at key points, but Dave wants to double loop a single chain.
I'd have to wrap that around twice to make it a double strand chain.
No, you've got a full loop.
First I've heard of anything like that, Dave, so that is absolutely new to me. No, I'm not.
Yeah, but you just never loop a chain.
Yeah.
It's twice as strong.
Yeah.
If we hook that under there.
Well, we can undo them all and do that if you want. No, if that's what you want, Dave.
Just when we do the neck, we do it the other way.
No, we'll do it all the same, mate. Just undo them, Slim. Well, can you pick up some chains and help Dave or what? I was just trying to get it through my head how a 3.5 tonne chain becomes 7 tonne when it's one chain. Have a look. Here, Dave. You're pulling off a chain. Dave, I'm trying to work this out. All right? If you want to get your attitude, just off. All right? I'm trying to work it out, Dave.
Come on, hurry up.
No, I'm trying to work this out.
Yeah, just come on down.
Wait, Dave. What are you, Dave? You've done jack shit all morning. Still ain't much, eh?
In South Australia, tanker driver Corey Chapman is heading to the first stop on his Outback supply trip. For Corey, the open road is the place to be.
Can't handle people pretty much, and city life, that's not me at all. I could not work a 9 to 5 job and do what everyone else asks you to do and all that kind of stuff. This is a lot better.
He'll be on the road for 3 days, but as a family man with 3 kids, at times it can be tough.
Not home a great deal, it doesn't do too much for him, but yeah, just a road that I picked.
For Corey, being away from home recently got a whole lot tougher.
We're out camping and motorbike riding, and my son come off his motorbike and broke his back, and he's a paraplegic. He's still in hospital now, which is 8, nearly 9 months ago. It's been very hard on us all. If he walks again, which I hope he does, it's going to be a long time. There's definitely no quick fix to it. Very strong little boy.
It's late by the time Corey reaches the opal mining town of Cooper Pedy. But his work isn't done yet. His truck's too big to drive into town. Before delivering to a local roadhouse, he must unhook 2 of his 3 trailers.
You can't get triple road trains everywhere down here. If you could, we wouldn't have to unhook them too often at all.
The roadhouse tanks are almost empty. For the manager, it's a relief to see new supplies.
Without them, how can they supply fuel?
With 20,000 litres of flammable liquid on board, ignition sources are Corey's major concern.
Static electricity is one thing we've got to try and avoid as much as we can. A spark can cause a fire. Best thing to do is just touch it. That gets rid of static electricity. It's passing through me and it's earthed out. And we always hook to the ground first. always kind of got to stay pretty close to it in case a hose breaks or, you know, something gets knocked off of here or something.
At busy roadhouses like this, his other worry is smokers.
You got to tell them pretty quick. You know, it's not just them, it's everyone else that's going to go bang.
One spark too close to this load could be your last. Back in the workshop, Dion Fisher is finally able to hook up a 60-tonne conveyor. An argument with second driver Dave has been put behind them.
At the end of the day, anything in the workshop stays in the workshop.
But his team are running more than 12 hours behind schedule. Outside, the factory's being dismantled to make way for the 6-metre wide load. But there's another barrier in Dion's way. Safety inspectors have to measure every part of the load to make sure it matches Dion's paperwork. It has to be millimetre perfect. Any discrepancies could mean big delays to fix them. Time Dion doesn't have. One mistake and he won't be going anywhere. He's powerless as the inspectors decide whether he stays or goes. It's the moment of truth.
That's right.
After all the tension and delays, Dion can finally get underway.
There we go.
The open road is in sight. But suddenly, Dion's collided with the workshop door frame. He's trapped. In South Australia, Corey Chapman's fuel run has reached the Unadata track. For the next 600 kilometres, it's all dirt, all day. He's en route to one of the icons of the Australian outback. At the Pink Roadhouse in Unadata, Corey's delivering vital supplies to owner Lynn.
There's only the one thing.
Yeah, no worries at all.
Yep.
No worries at all.
Right to go.
We'll get into it. Thank you.
As well as supplying the locals, the Roadhouse has become a tourist attraction.
It started off with the Roadhouse, but as you can see around, there's the pink Volvo, there's a pink canoe out there. No, people don't expect to see a pink Roadhouse in the outback, so.
But its survival depends on fuel deliveries.
Word gets around, if you run out of fuel, all of Australia knows. And they think that you've run out for a year, not just 5 minutes.
And that goes for the whole community.
We supply the police and the hospital with their ambulance, and if we run out of diesel, you know, it could be life and death for someone.
In the outback, every fuel delivery is vital. By night, Corey's made another 3 stops.
One more for the night.
But to stay on schedule, he's decided to push on into the night.
Started about 6:30 this morning, 7 o'clock now, so time to do this next job. It'll be about 9:30 and that'll be about the end of the day, I think.
It's a dangerous combination. Pitch black and a narrow dirt road. It's an outback traffic jam. Dipping the lights and blowing the horn usually clears the way, but these road hogs aren't moving.
Come on.
After almost trading paint with an oversized dump truck,
The old heart ticks away a bit there while you're doing it.
Steve Graham has reached the Great Central Road. 1,200 kilometres of hard-driving dirt highway. It's a serious challenge for any vehicle and driver brave enough to take it on. The biggest hazard are corrugations, regular bumps in the road caused by traffic. They may look smooth from a distance, but get up close and they're a real truck killer.
Do you hate them? Yes. Will you still hate them when you retire, Steve? Yes. Corrugations are the bane of my life. I hate them because they wear me out, sitting there bouncing me around, knocking me to bits. I don't like corrugations. And they knock the freight around and they make me go slower, and I've got to stop and fix things all the time. I haven't got a lot of good to say about corrugations. Righto, we'll go.
To protect his truck and the freight, Steve needs to reduce the impact.
Either get up to a moderate speed where you're skating across the top of them without doing too much damage, or down to first gear if they're really, really big ones, and just put up with them. Just spend all day just climbing up and down them, basically. Teeny doesn't like them much either, do you, Teeny?
Get it wrong, and he could be joining an outback graveyard.
There's a lot of dead ones on the side of the road. Oh, look, there's another one that didn't make it. Another one that didn't make it.
But it's not just corrugations that can cause him trouble. There are more than 1 million wild camels in the outback, and an adult bull can weigh in at more than 700 kilos.
You sort of don't get much warning, and they will do some damage to the bloody truck if you hit them. Once one came out and he sort of propped and went back, but his head was far enough out it smashed the air cleaner off the side of the truck and he spun around. And the poor old fellow was in a bit of a bad way. I had to shoot that bloke. He had a broken jaw and he wasn't good.
Suddenly, out of the scrub, in Perth, Dion Fisher is stranded. The underside of his trailer has hit the workshop door frame.
Come back just a little bit slowly.
With millions of dollars at stake, more delays are the last thing he needs. His team needs to get him free fast.
Got it, mate.
You all right?
Rolling forward.
Here you go. Here we go.
Yep. All good.
It's going to be a slow, painful day getting out of town.
Finally out of the workshop, the pressure falls onto Slim. It's his job to steer Dion's rear trailer, or jinker, to get the 40-metre load around tight city streets.
The jinker driver's on the ground at all times. The truck goes quite wide around the corners.
Are you going to miss me? All good, mate?
The jinker driver, he's just got to compensate for the length of the load. We've got lots of risks with fences, power lines, power poles. Real slow process.
Slim can't afford a single error. It's slow going. 1 kilometre takes nearly an hour. Up ahead, the roads are closed to make way for the massive trucks. But something is refusing to get out of the way.
A lot of the signs are designed to come out.
With this one not budging, it's down to Slim to get Dion around it.
Don't go too wide, mate.
Right, stop. It's touching.
Go back a bit, mate. Have another grab.
I think we're going to miss it. We're going to get it to get down. Down. Let's go.
After getting gridlocked by cattle, Corey Chapman is back on the open road. His next stop is hard to miss. Anna Creek is the biggest working cattle station in the world, At 6 million acres, it's larger than the country of Israel. Corey wants to make his delivery as quickly as he can.
See duskets and everything on the dirt. Try and keep things clean and reduce it as much as we possibly can.
His next stop won't be so easy to find. Somewhere on this massive station are a team of dam builders who are running out of fuel.
Busy?
A little bit.
That's the guy.
The only man who knows where they are is the station manager, Norm. And out here, the closest thing to sat-nav is a good old mud map.
Go down to the Gymkhana ground.
Yep.
Go through a wide gate, follow the road, past the yard, and you go over the grid 3k, and the road will sort of turn to your right a bit.
Yep.
Well, you go out about 30k and you go over one grid.
Yep.
Keep going, you'll come to a trucking yard.
Yep.
The road will go around and round a dam. Just watch that. There's a few gutters in it.
Oh, righto, yep. No worries at all.
Through one more gate, you can leave him open if you want.
Righto.
And then it's about another 12k from there. You'll see Timmy's tracks are all.
Oh, righto, no worries.
And just keep following him.
Just following his tracks, I'll be right.
As clear as mud.
We'll work her out though. Can only follow the wheel tracks and hope for the best.
Steve Graham has made it through a run-in with some wild camels. But after being hammered by millions of corrugations, his truck isn't so fortunate. Several of his 62 tyres are leaking and need to be pumped up. And he's got another problem. Strong winds combined with 40 tonnes of high-sided freight means Steve's been burning more diesel than usual.
I'm concerned about my fuel, which is a bloody nuisance because if I can't get to Curtin Springs, I have to break this road train up and go into Yalara and fuel up. There's not much bloody fuel in there. It's only just enough to get me into 35 k's will do it.
To make matters worse, his tyres aren't inflating. There's something wrong with the truck's air pressure system. The fault's in a valve that controls the cab suspension.
Ah, for f***'s sake.
After 3 hard days, it's the last straw.
I'm pissed off because I had to grovel under there twice in the dark last night. That's why I'm pumping my tyres up the light, because the ride height valve's not working properly and it's dumping all the air, and it's taking me a long time to pump up my tyres because the air's going out of that new valve and I can't reach under here and adjust the bloody thing. As I should be able to shift that right and make the f***ing cab go up at the right level and shut the air off, but it's not. It's dumping out to atmosphere underneath the truck instead of going into my tyres, and it's annoying me. And once again, it's time bleeding away from me. I should be 40 kilometres down the road now and fueled up, and I'm wasting time here doing this.
The fault's affecting nearly every part of his truck.
Air brakes, air gear shift, air assisted, lots of things. Nothing happens. Without air, we don't move.
Corey Chapman is about as far off the beaten track as you can go. He's trying to find a dam building operation. Only problem, they're located somewhere on a cattle station the size of Wales. His only guide are other people's tracks.
Dam sinker bloke has been out there recently, so his tracks will be on the ground.
He's heading into unknown territory.
I haven't been out there before, so it's a bit of a feel our way and see how we go. Could be good, we could be down an hour and a half, or it could be rat shit.
And out here, the roads can turn ugly.
These are the kind of roads that are unpredictable. A station track, you just be wary there could be a sharp gutter up the road you don't know about.
Corey's reached the fork in the road he needs to take. From now on, he's relying on his memory of the station manager's mud map.
Yeah, and I just turn right at that road where that fork's off to the right there, and you can't go wrong. Happens quite a fair bit, you do go wrong.
Ahead, there's a barren landscape as far as the eye can see. No landmarks, no signs, nothing. All Corey has is instinct.
kind of get a bit of a gut feeling if you think you're not on the right road.
Temperatures are into the high 30s. It's a dangerous place to get lost.
24,000 square kilometres. She's a big area.
Corey's unsure where he is.
Hopefully this is one of the turns.
If he can't find the dam builders soon, their whole operation will shut down. His name and business are on the line. He needs help. His hopes rest on a satellite phone call.
Tell me every time you want to use a bloody sat phone.
In Perth, Dion Fisher's supersized convoy is pushing hard to get out of the city before sunset. It's vital he makes up lost time. Once it goes dark, he'll be forced to pull over for the night.
It's always slow and tedious out of town. Very hard on the gear.
Guiding Dion through the city is his team of pilots. He's completely reliant on them.
All we see is the outer edges, lots of blind spots, and you've got to have a lot of faith in the team you're working with. If we don't get it positioned correctly on the road, there's every chance we could take power pole down.
Yeah, you're clear.
Thanks, mate.
Dion's made it onto the busy main highway, but every few kilometres, the convoy has to stop to let traffic by. As he can only travel during daylight, at this pace, Dion's in real danger of missing tonight's stopping point. And there's another hazard up ahead, a series of low bridges.
Bridges are always a pressure point. Doesn't matter how many times you measure, you can always be wrong.
Dion should be able to clear them, but one tiny mistake and his career and millions of dollars could be on the line.
Close, Dave.
Yeah, that was a bit lower there.
The last is the lowest of them all.
You generally take it nice and easy and hopefully nothing goes bang. If you were to hit the bridge with a larger machine, something say 6 metres or something, you could tear the bridge down.
Having navigated the bridges, Dion has a clear run to his stopping point. But suddenly, second driver Dave has an emergency. One of his brakes is jammed. It's close to catching fire.
Away from that corner, mate.
Somewhere in the South Australian outback, Corey Chapman's having no luck with a temperamental satellite phone. He needs help to find a team of dam builders. Out here, it's like looking for a needle in a haystack.
How you going, boss? Might just keep sneaking along.
It's good news. He's right where he should be and can get back on the road. Or what's left of it.
That's where your brake actions.
At last, the dam builders' camp comes into view. The mud map was right all along.
Turn right at that fork, turn right at that fork, go around that dam and watch that gutter and keep driving and you'll come across him and he's pretty much spot on.
The diggers have been out here for weeks, working in one of the toughest environments on Earth.
There's a man.
For the boss, Tim, it's a relief to see Corey. He's made it just in time.
This one here is empty.
Oh, yeah, yep.
Fuel is the lifeblood of the camp, powering everything from machinery and generators to fridges and phones. The nearest depot is 800 kilometres away. Without fuel trucks, the whole operation would grind to a halt.
Too easy. All done.
It's been another gruelling run, but after 1,500 kilometres, it's finally time to head for home. He's journeyed through some of the toughest terrain in the country, to the edge of the map and beyond. But for Corey Chapman and those whose lives depend on him, what matters is the job's done and the tanks are full.
Probably go about 65 k's to get in. At this rate, it'd be good to get into town tonight.
Dion Fisher has got a serious problem on his hands. His second driver, Dave, has jammed a brake. It's dangerously overheating. Dave needs to wait for the brake to cool down before he can try and repair it. If they can't fix the fault, his journey could be over right here. All Dion can do is wait. And wait, as more precious minutes tick by. At last, in the rearview mirror, there's good news. Dave's back on the road. But the delay has given Dion another headache. He's almost out of daylight. His permit states he must be off the road by nightfall. There's no way he'll be able to reach his planned stop. He needs to find somewhere soon that's big enough to accommodate the two massive trucks. And the road's piling on the pressure.
It's one of our worst bit of roads that we go on. It's narrow, we've got big rocks on the edges.
Dion still has 1,700 kilometres to go to reach his destination, and he's massively behind schedule. He faces an uphill battle to get his load in on time. One lapse in concentration, and this trip could end in a heartbeat. Steve Graham has finally got enough air in his tyres and is limping into town. He needs fuel fast.
It's nearly on empty.
And his engine is starting to protest. Finally, he's made it, but this stop is going to be painful.
$2.11 a litre. Putting fuel in at that price, when that happens, that does hurt you. 470 litres, $1,000. I've got to pay for it, shed a tear, buy something bad for me like chips or something.
It's time for Steve to pull over for the night and get some much-needed rest. In the morning, he'll start the second leg of his journey to one of the most isolated communities in the world. But before he hits the sack, Steve wants to check his truck. If he's to carry on, he must be sure it's good to go. The faulty valve is still leaking, but under the hood, there's even more bad news. It's his air compressor. Its paintwork is cracked and the washers sealing it have bent out of shape.
Well, I don't know why these are lifting. I might have to make a phone call on this. I have heard the thing where I thought it was a ride height valve, I might actually have a compressor that's playing up here.
His $90,000 engine is barely a few weeks old. Repairs won't be cheap.
Those compressors are about $6,000 each.
And the replacement parts are over 2,500 kilometres away. The fate of Steve's journey and his truck hang on an SOS to his mechanic.
I'm in Alice Springs. I've got the bonnet up here.
He's a phone call away from make or break. On Outback Truckers, veteran trucker Steve Graham is locked in a battle with the weather. The road
good smashing crap out of the gear.
And his patience.
Oh, why won't he listen?
In a race to reach Australia's most remote community. Heavy haulage driver Dion Fisher is massively behind schedule. He's got big troubles from breakdowns.
Got a problem with the electrics in here.
Wildlife.
You got him, Dave.
And the authorities.
Every truck driver in Australia tries to keep away from him.
He faces an uphill battle to get his load in on time. Livestock truckie Joey Granich has 750 unruly passengers on board his road train. Getting them safely to their destination will test his skills.
Why the hell are you doing that to your mate?
And his truck.
You can't dig yourself out of this.
To the limit.
Just worried now, very worried. We're in the shit.
In the remote town of Alice Springs, Outback veteran Steve Graham is counting the cost of taking on one of the roughest roads in Australia.
I don't want something to go wrong out in the desert.
He's halfway through an epic 3,500 kilometre journey from Perth to Kiwakura, Australia's most isolated outback community. Over the last 3 days, he's hauled 40 tonnes of freight over 2,000 kilometres, like travelling from New York to Cuba, and his truck's taken a beating. Under the bonnet, the news isn't good. His air compressor looks to be damaged. It's a vital component. Without it, Steve's going nowhere. The fate of his journey and his truck is hanging on one phone call to his mechanic, 2,000 kilometres away.
I'm in Alice Springs. I've got the bonnet up here. They've cracked the paint away in a clear circle around them, and they're bending the lock washers up.
The mechanic wants to see a photo. All Steve can do is wait.
Those compressors are about $6,000 each. Yeah, and it's been vibrating and working and it's cracked the paint. All right, nothing to panic about. Okay, no worries.
After all the dramas, it turns out the problem is down to a simple coat of paint.
He saw that there was a bit of paint missing on top of the compressor, so he gave it just a brush of paint over, and that new paint with the expansion and contraction of the compressor working is probably all that's cracked off. My mind has been put at rest for the minute.
While it's a huge weight off Steve's shoulders, he has another problem on his hands. Time.
The reason I'm rushing is you can't travel oversized at night, and it takes a good half an hour to get through town, and it's going to be dark shortly.
He's delivering 50 tonnes of building equipment to a crew working in Kiwakura. It's a vital project for the isolated community, and supplies are running low. Steve's delivery is critical.
I want to get out of town by dark, mate, and it's very nearly dark.
Steve's racing the setting sun.
You can only travel daylight oversized. That's why I've been pushing. Got about 600 kilometres of dirt from here up to Kiwakura. Hope to get there just before dark tomorrow night.
But this is just the start of his journey. He and his long-suffering truck face one of the toughest, meanest dirt roads in the country.
It's just hard work. It's good smashing the crap out of the gear.
On a farm 350 kilometres east of Perth, livestock truckie Joey Granich is getting ready for a run through the West Australian outback. He has just 12 hours to make the 650 kilometre trip from his home in Moorine Rock to the coastal town of Esperance. He'll be making 2 stops at farms along the way, dealing with narrow back roads, dirt tracks and open farmland.
Look at that. Bloody beautiful.
Joey's been driving trucks for 30 years, and like his dad, his granddad and his brother, he wouldn't have it any other way.
This truck driving in our blood, we put our heart and soul into this job. I
I don't agree with this, and it sounds funny, but an old bloke said once that truck driving's a dickhead's job, but a dickhead can't do it. But to me, it's not. My dad brought me up to say you're like a ship's captain if you're driving a truck, and that's your responsibility, and I think more along those lines.
Like any captain, Joey's responsible for the lives of his passengers. On this voyage, there'll be 750 of them. It's one of the most dangerous loads a truckie can carry. Constantly moving, high off the ground and with a mind of their own, sheep are unpredictable and unstable. Keeping the truck steady is essential. Rollovers are a constant threat.
If you hook into corners too hard or stuff like that, you know, like you'll have the risk of them going over it. And I've been very lucky, but I've seen it happen. I've seen a truck and crate go over. Yeah, animals have to get destroyed, and yeah, not good at all, you know.
With a third trailer hooked up, Joey's 37-metre road train is complete. It's 4 times the length of a London bus and can hold up to 800 sheep. On the ground, everything's good to go. But it's a different story above. The weather forecast is for rain. It's the last thing Joey needs.
The main thing is to get stuck, to get bogged somewhere.
If the skies open, his 43-tonne road train could sink like a stone into wet farmland.
That goes through the back of your mind if you're going in the bush in, in stormy country, you know, in stormy weather sort of thing.
And the news from his first pickup is not good.
Hey, Joe, you still up for a run? Yeah, mate.
The rain's already coming down.
We might sort of have a little bit of trouble if it's a bit wet. You know, we've got to be able to get this thing straight to get it in, you know?
With just 12 hours to move 100 tonnes of sheep more than 650 kilometres, Joey's job's tough enough already. Getting bogged would be a disaster. In a roadside bay near Perth, a heavy haulage team is anxiously waiting for sunrise. The man in charge is Dion Fisher. It's the first time Dion's headed up a job this size, and after just one day, he's badly behind schedule.
We're running about 12 hours behind.
He's heading for a mining plant in Dampier on the northern coast of Western Australia. Dion has just 3 days to cross 1,800 kilometres of remote outback highways. If he's late, the plant may have to shut down, a delay costing millions of dollars. Making things even tougher is the load. These 2 massive steel structures are part of a huge conveyor belt. Each is 40 metres long, weighing 60 tonnes. End to end, they're almost as tall as the Statue of Liberty. But delays in loading have pushed deadlines and tempers to the limit.
If you want to get your attitude, just f*** off.
Adding to the pressure, accidents. And slow progress have meant Dion's barely covered 100 kilometres. Everyone's ready to go, but strict rules won't allow Dion to leave until 7:15 a.m, and precious minutes tick by. The convoy can only travel during daylight. To make his deadline, Dion needs to make the most of every minute on the road.
As we're restricted by daylight, we've middle of winter, not many hours, 10 hours is about all we're getting. We're only allowed to 80 k's an hour, so yeah, if we can get 700 k's in a day, we'll have a good day.
He may have daylight, but the winter sun is throwing up another hazard.
As you can see, we're driving into the rising sun at the moment, which is obscuring our vision. Quite a dangerous hazard, especially when we've got trucks parked on the side of the road and we all have to negotiate them.
At 7 metres wide, Dion's load is hogging almost the entire highway.
Thanks for that, mate.
You are blinded by the sun.
To stay on the road, he needs to use all his experience.
You just look close to the front of the truck, look down, hold your line, you know where your line is on the road, so you just sort of focus down out of the sun a bit, and the old sunnies help as well.
With 1,700 kilometres to go, Dion's under massive pressure. But with millions of dollars at stake, he needs to make up lost time. West of Alice Springs, Steve Graham is about to head onto the notorious Gary Junction Road. It's an isolated dirt track that snakes deep into Australia's second largest desert. But today, it's not scorching heat that's Steve's problem.
When I woke up this morning, it was raining. I had a bad feeling about this road.
The rain's been coming down all morning.
It doesn't take much to top up these water holes. This ground's already soft.
It's left the road littered with bogs and potholes. One wheel in the wrong place could land Steve and his 50-ton load in thick mud. The further he goes, the bigger the bog holes get.
This is the bit that worries me getting out here. This water is from weeks ago.
There's no getting around this monster. All Steve can do is push straight through the heart of the bog. Lose traction now, and he'll be stranded in the middle of nowhere. Livestock trucker Joey Greenwich has arrived at the first pickup of a 650-kilometre sheep run. It's the first time he's been to this farm, and after heavy rain yesterday, he's no idea what he's up against. In the loading area, the news isn't good. The ground is soaked.
That's bloody soft there.
While he's only got a small number of sheep, Joey's worried his 43-ton truck could get bogged.
Well, we'll only have a couple hundred sheep on, but it's still, yeah, just don't want to get stuck. Yeah, just it is soft there, and more bloody oath it is.
If he's to load up, he'll have to cross the wet ground.
Oh, we'll give it a go over there, and we haven't got a lot of sheep on, so we'll just give it a go.
Joey needs to reverse his 37-metre road train up to the shed door that's barely a metre wide. He must be centimetre perfect. And the soft ground's making manoeuvring a nightmare.
Thinking on how to get straight and how to get back, and you've got to have good steering to back this thing, and I can't get real good steering. You can't wriggle it all quick enough, or you're sort of buggered, you know. Shear and shit.
After taking on a deep bog hole, Steve Graham has survived his first challenge on the road to Kilmacurry. But no sooner is he through the mud than another old enemy rears its head.
Oh, I don't know how big the corrugations are. I just know that they're bloody rough.
Corrugations are ridges in the road surface, like driving over millions of miniature speed bumps.
They're knocking the crap out of me in the gear.
Steve's caught between a rock and a hard place. A building crew is depending on him to reach them before their supplies run out. Push too hard and he could shake his freight to pieces. Every few kilometres, he has to stop and tighten the load.
They don't pay me for dropping the freight out the back, they only pay me for delivering the freight, so I want to keep it on my truck. Started work at 6 o'clock and it's now 9 o'clock and we've got 103 kilometres up, about 450 to go.
Steve's managing barely 30 kilometres per hour, painfully slow. Making matters worse, there's pressure from the customer.
They've run out of work today, they need this load there tonight.
There's just 100 kilometres to go, but the surface goes from bad to worse. Steve's reduced to a snail's pace.
I've got to drop down to first gear and take 3 days to get the last 100 kilometres.
With the road punishing every turn of his tyres, it's looking like a battle even Steve can't win.
I'm now down to 5 kilometres between breaks to keep the freight on. I can't get the freight out here at this rate.
Joey Granich is still trying to back his road train into a shearing shed.
I really got to go right down there to get straight, and I can't.
But with every metre, he's sinking further into wet ground.
We've got to go over a bit bloody more. Nah. Have a look at that. You don't mind mucking around, or do you? I just don't like getting bogged, eh? No, I'll just try and wriggle it a bit. I'll just have to go forward and wriggle it a bit more. Bloody hell, Hope. Get it this time. We got it.
While he's made it to the shed, the challenge now will be getting back out. Added to his 43-tonne road train will be another 20 tonnes of sheep. On the road to Dampier, Dion Fisher's clawed back some precious time. But suddenly, there's bad news on the radio for second driver Dave.
Dave, you want to just check your light switch, buddy?
The brake lights aren't working on his trailer.
Yeah, just the tail lights might have a bit of a short or something. We'll have to pull in and have a look.
No good? Must have been rubbing on the ground. The wire was rubbing on the ground and it's wore it through, as you can see.
Without brake lights, he can't continue. It's down to Dion and Dave to make some hasty repairs.
That's the thing about being on the road. If it doesn't work, you've got to fix it.
You've got to fix it, yeah.
As the minutes tick by, all the time they picked up is slipping away.
Might be an issue with that one too, eh?
Yeah.
And the situation's getting worse.
Yeah, but if you unplug it, it fixes it, so it's not the lead.
The worn-out cable's been repaired, but the trailer's electrics are still shorting out.
The brake lights on the dolly come on when we plug this in. There's a short somewhere. I reckon it's got to be in that lead that's underneath.
If they can't find the fault, they'll have a serious problem on their hands. No lights, no delivery.
Oh, crying out loud.
Shut up, David. That's bloody hurt. Oh!
Finally, the boys come up with a fix.
We've basically just cut out a lot of the wiring system and just run one long wire to the indicators.
It's a patch-up job, and it has to hold until they reach Dampier, 1,000 kilometres away. The fate of their journey and millions of dollars hangs on a single strand of wire.
We're on the road.
Joey Granich is getting ready to load 200 sheep onto his road train. It's an exhausting job.
You've got to be pretty fit. If you're not fit, you'll get found out pretty quick.
And a risky one.
Sheep, to me, are more dangerous because you've got to be amongst them. I've been much more knocked around by sheep than cattle. Sheep are pretty cunning too, you know.
Now he faces the toughest part, driving his truck across a minefield of sodden ground.
Yeah, f***ing wet.
And his truck's 20 tonnes heavier than when it arrived.
There's a bit of an obstacle course around here.
Getting bogged at his first stop of the day would be bad enough.
We'll just go straight up there and near that tree.
Yep.
But if the ground gives way unevenly, Joey's truck could roll. Life and limb are at risk.
Haven't got stuck for ages.
Joey's going to need all the help he can get.
All wet? Yeah, all good, mate. Oh, it'll be all right with that tractor in front. We hope. Yeah. Just worried now. Very worried. Yep, cool. Yep, we're in the shed.
After a day and a half of bone-shaking dirt track, Steve Graham limps into Kiwakura.
It's all about getting it here, isn't it? If you don't get it here, you don't make a living.
Despite the battering, he's on time and the freight has survived the journey. But his work isn't done yet. Steve needs to make sure the freight comes off his truck safely. It's a straightforward job. or it should be.
Don't go down. Don't go down. Go up. Keep it where it was. Go maximum up, mate. Everything up. Everything up. Righto, go back gently. Stop your bucket. Stop moving the... You! Watch me. Go back. Just hold it there. Whoa, tell him not to go on that mesh. Whoa! Eyes, you're not watching me. Oi, eyes. Down and back. Oh, why won't he listen? Jesus Christ! Oh my God, what's he doing to those screens?
After working hard to get the load here in one piece, it's too much for Steve. And as the saying goes, if you want the job done right, Joey Greenwich is in the exact place he didn't want to be. Up to his wheel nuts in a thick, muddy bog.
Yeah, well, we took a punt and it didn't come off.
While he's putting a brave face on it, Joey's up to his neck in trouble. He prides himself on delivering, and every minute he's stuck is costing him time and money.
I don't know, you just never gain time in this world, you just lose it.
The problem is, the tractor in front isn't powerful enough to pull him free.
Yeah, it didn't quite sort of cut the mustard, you know, so we're here.
Escape looks impossible.
You can't dig yourself out of this, you sneak it.
Joey needs a miracle. This 12-wheel, heavy-duty monster tractor could just be the answer to his prayers.
Well, if that doesn't pull us out with stuff. Yep. Just take it steady.
But even this brute can't drag the road train free. It's time for Plan B.
Oh, we're just going to pull it back a bit first. You don't really want to pull the bull bar off this truck.
The back of the truck is lighter. The hope is the tractor can get some momentum and pull Joey out. The plan seems to be working, but there's no telling what damage is being done underneath the truck.
Yeah, you can drag something off underneath, you know. You can rip the bloody fuel cross line off for your fuel or any bloody thing, you know. Out there, I reckon, mate. Hang on, mate. Hang on, whoa. This.
While he's out of the bog, Joey's right back where he started.
That'd be the fucking worst spot ever there. Yeah, I won't get through there, I think.
There's mud in all directions.
I reckon we're just going to have to take a punt and go that way.
All Joey can do now is set his wheels straight, cross his fingers, and hope the tractor can plough its way through.
Yeah, get into it.
While he might be out of the mud, now Joey needs to find out if the truck has survived the escape.
Well, just make sure nothing's off underneath. Fucking mud and shit everywhere. We'll get it off.
The news is good, but Joey's lost something just as precious: time.
Oh, if we weren't running late before, we are now.
In the midst of the West Australian outback, emergency repairs to Dion Fisher's convoy are holding out. But it's put him way behind schedule. To help claw back time, he's relying on his team of pilots to clear the way. Almost a kilometre ahead, lead pilot Beck is a key member of the team.
I actually sit out the front of the loads, warn oncoming traffic about the size. Yeah, copy, mate. Get you to back it down and get a positive. I've got 2 jinkered lows coming around the corner, buddy. 2 at 6.8.
Driving on the wrong side of the road is a high-risk job.
You get used to it. You just got to be careful on the blind bends. They come around here at 100 mile an hour, and you're on the wrong side of the road on a blind bend, bang. Yeah, just got a couple of big ones coming across the bridge down there, so if you just hold it before you get to the bridge. Cool, thanks, mate. See ya.
Each load is double the length of a cricket pitch and twice as wide. Getting past them means risking your vehicle and your life. To do it safely, you need to go through the back door.
The back pilot will, what you call, close and open the back door so nothing can come around.
The pilots have to be sure it's clear before they wave traffic through.
Is that your back door now, Dave?
Ready then.
Get it wrong, and the results could be disastrous. A triple trailer road train is called through. Dion and Dave must pull over as far as they dare. Moving it up to 100 kilometres per hour, hundreds of tonnes of truck are barely a metre apart. Dust from the other truck makes visibility poor. Both drivers need to stay out of the soft gullies on either side of the road.
The gully on the shoulder can be up to, if not more than, a foot deep.
Hey, your back door, Dion.
If they're out on the edge and they hit a big pothole like that, it's a disaster for everyone.
After the triple trailer comes an even greater threat, fuel tankers. On board, hundreds of thousands of litres of flammable liquid.
Quad fuel tanker coming around. He's got 140 tonne gross.
If the driver runs wide, the fuel can move violently inside the tanks, causing the whole truck to sway across the road. A collision now would be disastrous.
Yeah, just hold it straight. I hope to bloody God nothing goes wrong. Don't want to have an accident with one of them.
In Kiwakara, Steve Graham's work's far from done. His customer has asked him to help rescue some building sand from a tipper left behind by another trucker.
What we got in here is 24 tonne of premix, and it's been sitting in the rain for 2 weeks. I don't know what weight of water has soaked into the premix. It could be as much as 40 tonne in there now.
It's vital. Without it, building work can't be completed. To unload, Steve needs to give the tipper hydraulic power. He needs to swap the tipper's front trailer for his prime mover. But without knowing how much weight's on board, it's a dangerous procedure.
I have to unhook it, and I don't want to unhook it. I don't like unhooking loaded tippers at the best of times, and I certainly don't like unhooking this one.
Steve's main concern are the tipper's legs. They'll have to take the full weight.
There's a shitload of weight there. No one likes unhooking tippers when they're loaded. You just don't like them because the legs are so far back.
No one's sure if they'll hold.
I don't want the thing to either go through the concrete or collapse the legs. That's what my worry is.
If there's any sign the legs are about to collapse, Steve needs to know instantly.
Stay totally focused. Listen for any creaks and groans.
With the trailer attached to his prime mover, Steve pushes forward. If the legs give way, the whole tipper could come crashing down. After a second pickup, Joey Granich is en route to Esperance. He's covered hundreds of kilometres, bogged his road train to its axles and loaded 750 sheep. But he's barely halfway through his journey. And just as he's getting ready to move, there's another crisis. 2 sheep have slipped and fallen. It's the most common cause of injury and death on trucks like this.
Trying to look after you and your mate. They don't be cranky, eh? They're just climbing all over the other one.
It's urgent Joey gets them back on their feet now.
Get this old girl around.
Once the truck is moving, any fallen sheep could be trampled.
She's just made of shit.
If Joey can't get them up, chances are they never will.
Why the hell are you doing that to your mate? Oh, for Christ's sake, sheep. Get up! It's just a stubborn old sheep. Oh, bloody hooray.
70 tonnes and 2,800 hooves are now firmly planted on the deck. Joey can get back underway. He urgently needs to make up time. But up ahead, a slow-moving car is blocking the way. Overtaking is always hazardous, made harder with a live load on board.
Oh, he's just sitting on a bit of an annoying speed.
Joey needs at least a kilometre of clear road before he can commit.
If it's safe up here, we'll try and get around.
It's a relief to be past. But suddenly, Joey spots something in the mirror. A sheep has slipped. It's not moving. On the road to Dampier, the sun's setting on Dion Fisher's oversized convoy. As second driver Dave knows, out here, it's a dangerous time to be on the road, and not just for truckers.
There's a few bully jumpers on your right-hand side.
As far as livestock goes, including kangaroos, unfortunately, sometimes it's unavoidable. You can't swerve to avoid livestock or kangaroos because you place the whole load in danger. So therefore, sometimes they go under the front.
There's nearly 60 million wild kangaroos in Australia. They're a common sight on outback roads. They're fast, unpredictable, and can weigh up to 90 kilos. But when hit, not all of them die instantly.
Kangaroos do survive. Unfortunately, they're badly injured.
And right now, it's feeding time. Up ahead, lead pilot Beck has spotted something. A kangaroo's been clipped by an oncoming vehicle, leaving it seriously injured. She's asked Dave to take care of it.
She's dead. You got him, Dave.
The only thing that I could have done was to run it over again. I don't like doing it, but sometimes you have to stop the animal from suffering.
Yeah, thanks, Dave, for putting that poor thing out of its misery, mate. I thought it was dead when I went past, and then I saw it move and roll, and yeah, just can't leave it like that. Thanks, buddy.
For any trucker, it's just one of the harsh realities of life on outback roads.
Oh, it's pretty gruesome, you know. I even have days you see lots of dead kangaroos and you start getting a bit weak in the stomach. But you've got to do what you got to do. You can't leave the animal to suffer.
By now, Joey Granage should have been unloading at his destination in Esperance. Instead, he still has hundreds of kilometres to go, and he's had to pull up with another problem.
Oh, just one with its leg out.
Another sheep has fallen. It's barely moving. Joey needs to rescue her before she's trampled to death.
One old girl sort of laid down and then got a foot stuck out there. They're just big, fat and awkward, you know.
Fortunately, there's no injury and Joey can get moving. But it's more lost time. By the time he arrives in Esperance, it's pitch black. He's delivering to a farm he's only visited in daylight via a different entrance.
I just don't overshoot it.
To help Joey, the farmers come out to meet him.
There's a tractor parked about 600 metres upwards. Can you see that?
Yeah, no, I can't see a thing.
Some of the sheep have been on board the truck all day. Joey's keen to give them some rest.
Well, there's never usually any signage or anything until you get right onto them.
I can see your lights keep coming, about a K to go.
Oh, bloody beautiful.
At last, he's made it and can start unloading. It's a stressful time for both trucker and farmer.
Normally you probably see a little bit of swearing in there, which has been quite mild this time. That's a pretty good indication everything's going well. Because normally it gets a bit heated if it gets too tough. From a duty of care point of view, most stockies would probably bugger the truck, unload it tomorrow. So Joe's been good enough to pull in there and we're unloading them.
After a tough day, it's almost over for Joey. Just a few sheep are left to come off. But suddenly...
Don't go under there. Get in! Get in!
A sheep has got itself into serious trouble.
She's so fat, she flipped the deck up. Now she's gone and got a foot stuck.
It's trapped between a movable floor and the wall of the trailer. If Joey puts any weight on the floor, he risks crushing the sheep even more.
I nearly got it, Troy. Yep, got a foot out, but now our other bloody feet are stuck there.
The only way he can reach it is from below. Joey has to crawl on his hands and knees in sheep excrement and try to lift the 70-kilo animal back onto her feet.
Yeah, got her.
Yeah, right. She's all clear.
Yeah, I've got to get out of here now.
She's the last to disembark, but every one of Joey's 750 passengers has made it safely off his truck.
Oh, that was bloody good, eh?
Well, the ewes have travelled magnificently, as you can see, they just look great. So credit to the guys with these big rigs shifting them around for us.
For the ship's captain, it's been a gruelling day. But after 650 kilometres and near disaster, he's weathered the storm and made it to port.
Everyone was happy and no casualties, and you're always happy when that happens. You sort of think, well, that's your job done, and they're there.
After chancing his luck and his truck, Steve Graham has successfully hooked his prime mover up to a stranded tipper. Now he has a new problem. This tipper won't tip. Its hydraulics are dead. Steve's left with only one choice, to force its door open without damaging it.
Just gently try and pull it. I don't know which side. I might have to crack the other side yet. Just give it a little feel. Gently, come underneath it, quick, quick, quick. And Jesus, you're slow.
The door may be open, but now Steve has 24 tonnes of premix to shift and just 2 shovels to do it.
You can't get your hydraulics to work. You've got to get the shit out somehow, because you don't get paid if you don't deliver.
Finally, everything's unloaded and a vital housing project can be completed. It's a successful end to another epic journey.
We've done what we came to do. They're getting their concrete down and they're very happy. I've got to get all this stuff out of here now. As fast as they finish with the machine, I'm loading it.
Steve's covered nearly 3,500 kilometres, almost the same distance as New York to Los Angeles, and survived everything the Outback could throw at him. And now, it's time to head home. Except Steve being Steve, it's never that easy.
This big ugly load of machinery is going back to Alice Springs.
Another 50 tonnes, another dirt road, another day, another dollar. It's all part of life for an Outback legend. After nearly 2,000 kilometres, Dion Fisher's convoy has reached Dampier. Despite everything that's happened along the way, they've made it on time. Almost.
I'm probably about 3 hours behind.
With the mining plant just 8 kilometres away, the client has come to meet them and check the load. Dion's in good spirits.
Deliver this and get it unloaded.
But all that's about to change. A team of transport inspectors has arrived. It's the last thing Dion needs.
Every state in Australia's got heavy vehicle enforcers, and every truck driver in Australia tries to keep away from them.
Whether it's 8 kilometres or 8,000, if they're not happy with even the smallest detail on the load, they can hand out big fines, or worse, ground Dion right here.
You can be as legal as you want, and you can be empty, and we still try to avoid them. We just sit an hour on the side of the road no one wants.
If you pick them on a bad day, they'll just pick on anything, stupid stuff, you know?
He's so close, he can see the finish line. But Dion's forced to go through every scrap of paperwork with the inspectors. One mistake, and the whole trip could be for nothing.
We just have to wait for them, that's all we can do.
The team need to keep their cool.
You're just going to get their back up and they're going to pick on anything that they can find. So you're better off being nice. They're doing their job, we're doing our job. There's no point getting angry with them.
Fine.
It's the office, wondering where Dion is.
Hi. Yeah, they're here. See ya. The boss man checking in to make sure everything's all right. The 15th time this morning, I think he's a bit stressed.
Finally, the inspectors are happy. Dion can move on and bring the load home. The team have travelled more than 1,800 kilometres, like driving from London to Berlin and back again, hauling a vast 120 tonnes of freight, and with every metre of the way, millions of dollars of pressure hanging over their heads. Now they're here, and the job's done.
We go over the causeway onto the island, pretty spectacular over the water, and that's something we don't get to do much of. At the end of a long job, all the stress is off the shoulders, the job's done.